Hello and welcome to Indie News. It is March 8th, 2018. My name is Mr. Anderson, and I am the advocating voice of Indie Advocates. Thank you for joining us tonight on the show, Matthew Kund. Is that how do you pronounce your last name, Matthew? That one looks a little difficult to me. Matthew's in our chat room saying hi. It's the first time we're going live in our new studio. So tell us what you think of the sound quality and the picture. It's a different type of angle. We're a little further back than normal. We can go a little closer in, but it also should be a better lighted situation, hopefully, for you guys. You guys see the new graphics we have for Indie News. Very excited. Let's get into the show tonight and see what's going on in our site today with all the news. Of course, we had a throwback thread from Stella Villiari. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Very cool, very cool. Michael Metlin's comic book series is now on sale. I have to add something to this, so stay tuned for that. You'll probably see it tomorrow. Today it was just too much to get done. I was actually adjusting the height of the computer for my back and neck. That took like 2 hours, annoying as it can be. Comic-Con Highway Midwest exit. We're going to be doing this show right after. So for those of you who stick around, you'll be able to see this again. Midwest is where it's at this weekend. You're going to have Joshua there. You're going to have Dirk there. You're going to have Frank there. And you're going to have Caleb there. So probably talk about most of that tonight too. Art of the Day today by John Eppley. Amazing art, actually. I really dug this piece. You got to check it out for its full presence. Dirk Manning, Right or Wrong, the book that will change how you view what it takes to be a comic book creator. True story, inspired my life in a very different way. It wasn't about changing, and I always stress this, it's not about writing comics. It's how you handle it. There are things in it that intrinsically we get wrong, and I know he's writing a second book, but I also am planning to write a book, and I've teased it. I just don't know where it's going to go. If I'll just release it for free or if I'll actually release it as a product to sell. I might do a product just because of how much insight it is. We'll see. Tommy Sharp said here. What's going on, Tommy? Is your last name Sharpe? Like, how do you pronounce your last name, Tommy? I always like to learn last names so I can be better at pronouncing them. So that is one of my unfortunate shortcomings. So Dirk Manning's book, back to that, amazing book. It will teach you things about how to create comics in a business type way and how to better prepare yourself for the indie market. The book I want to write will be about once you get the book, what's next, as well as getting to there. So I'm going to give my insights and hopefully it can help some people because I want to give back. The Autism Awareness and Education needs your help to spread the message. Now, this campaign is still going on, but we did announce the fact that they had raised enough funds for this. However, there are other things that can be added on, like soft foam inserts for the inside of it. So the campaign continues for a short bit. Mr. Anderson Reviews, and this is another great book, all right? This is How to Self-Publish Comics. This is by Josh Blaylock from Devil's Due. It's like a sharp knife. A Sharpay knife, like Sharpay? Is that what we're doing? I think that's what you mean, Sharpay, right? Just getting Tommy's name right now. So this was an awesome book. I listened to it, and it at the stage I'm at, I can't say that it was groundbreaking ideas. It was definitely a refresher I needed. Definitely some things I learned, but if I had listened to this with Dirk Manning's book, I'm telling you, I would have been so much more prepared for this. I'm going to have to reach out to you, Tommy. We're going to have to figure out your last name. I want to pronounce it right. So after the show, I'll try to remember to send you a message or send me a message, and we'll work out how it's supposed to be phonetically said, because I'm clearly not getting it right. But, I mean, Josh Blaylock did an amazing job, and I wished I had listened to the book. And I still listen to the book every so often. I still enjoy it. It's kind of a way to ground me and remind me of what's got to be. Dirk Manning's book is great. Both of these books are must-reads to me. They're on my must-read list. Alter Life is so good we have it twice, or there's an error. Either way, it's great. It really is. I call it the Black Mirror comic book, and it's exactly what I think it is. We're gonna have Caleb on the show. What used to be called Spoken Sins, I think he might be the first guest on Creator Talk. So look for that in the near future. We're still trying to work some bugs out in the site. That's why there hasn't been as much, and why we're running behind on doing Kickstarter Talk. Kickstarter Talk, luckily, the last Kickstarter Talk, we haven't had a lot of Kickstarters start. I think there's like a lull. People haven't started as many Kickstarters that I know of anyway. So it's been this awkward moment where there's not a lot going on. So we really haven't been in the need to refilm Kickstarter Talk, but we're going to do it probably tomorrow if everything works out right. I just wasn't ready there yet today because I needed to do other things. Like I'm also trying to get the other computer up and running, and I had to run an antivirus scan on it. So that became some of my project as well today, to get the other computer in our new studio up and running so I can use it to better prepare for shows like Kickstarter Talk. The Comic-Con Highway, because it's so short and it's not very interactive, we don't really need it for. So I wasn't too worried about it. Speaking of which, my security scan came up with 0 things, so that's cool. And I'll just quickly, for the Facebook audience, say I had 0 scan problems, so that's really cool. And then, I was just setting things up, getting ready to give you guys better program. Dulce is coming. I think I'm pronouncing that one wrong. I'm going to tag Chuck in this. Hey, Chuck, how do you pronounce this? Is it Dulce? Is it Dulce? How would you pronounce that, Chuck? Let me know. Comic-Con Highway exits Caleb. We said that. Also, you'll notice that you're going to see a lot of Wizard World. Not Wizard World, I'm sorry. A lot of Comic-Cons being added to the site. That's because we've integrated from Opinion Stage to our main site and are no longer using Opinion Stage. That was recently done. We still have some work, and we're going to go over that in the Comic-Con Highway, and you guys will see the improvements that we're making, so we look forward to that. Just a quick 7 Deadly Questions wants to hang you in Adam Sward in the halls as part of their art collection. This is an actual throwback thread that apparently didn't get the title throwback thread, but still a great thread. Check it out. WSN News Special. It's time to give the new Wizard World a second look. And that we won't change to Indie Comic News because that was broken by WSN. It was a WSN special, and we technically still are the Written Sins Network, so we're just going to leave that as is, but we're going to continue to talk about the amazing strides that Wizard World has made to become one of the best Comic-Cons for creators across the nation. Comic-Con Highway. I'm not going to mention the Comic-Con Highways that aren't going to be right now. You guys can check them out. But we're going to stay with only this week because I have some stuff to catch up on because we didn't do the news last night, so we're just going to keep going. This is more about Alter Life. Alter Life is an amazing comic book. It's the Black Mirror comic book. It's on Kickstarter now. Check it out. There was an interview for me from Paradise City. Since Fetish Babies is on today, well, it's on for the next 9 days. You're going to hear me talking about it more this weekend, especially. I'm starting to get ready to amp up to do a blitz, and the blitz idea is that I didn't really harbor or like send anything out about Fetish Babies. I wanted to do it in the last week because I noticed that the most amount of pledges you'll get that aren't organic from your past Kickstarters happens in the last week. So I'm really going to see what I can do with 1 week, and I'll tell you guys how it goes. But that's an interview to explain a little bit more about it, and you can always find my comic Fetish Babies at fetishbabies.com, and when we are on Kickstarter, it redirects. Comic-Con Highway Midwest exit for Brian, and again, I'm going to just mention these, and we're going to pass on. There's going to be one for Jason Schultz, who will be in the Walker Stalker Con, ironically the same weekend as C2E2. That's going to be weird to have both of them in the same place. And speaking of C2E2, Sean Forney is going to be there. Dirk Manning is going to be at C2E2. I'm going to be at C2E2. Indiana Comic Con is happening the weekend before, and the weekend before that too is Awesome Con. Yeah, I believe it's Awesome Con. And I can look, because I now have my list up above me. And in the beginning of April will be... See, I'm listing that. Nope, it was Awesome Con. March 30th to the 1st. I was right. Gem City is coming, and it will have Stephanie Fournier, Frank James, Bailey, Andy Shaggy Corte will be in attendance. That is an earlier Comic-Con, which we're because sometimes when people aren't using necessarily their own particular what we call billboards, we sometimes just put them together. Dirk Manning is going to be this weekend at Fantastic Con, as well as in Keystone, and this is just a lot of that. Okay, Creators Connection. Find out how weekly ads starting soon. Creator Connection. This is a throwback thread that apparently I didn't put the throwback for it too. So, and then on St. Patrick's Day, Austin Janowicki. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. And he's a friend too, so I feel horrible. I just can't get it out today. We'll be at Clearwater Comic Con. Make better comics for Josh Stahl. Great creator, great person to listen to, and definitely someone you can learn from. And we're just going to do these two right here and call it a day. Goodbye, Megastore. Hello, Indie Comics. Preview catalog. WSN News Kickstarter to watch. Go into space with the Salvagers. Help dreams come true. This was another throwback thread. I must have missed a couple with the throwbacks, so it happens. That was done a few months ago when we were first starting it, so there were a couple that got through the list. And then the Comic-Con Highway Northern Exit, my friend Gary Anderson will be up in Massachusetts. He is going to be at the Plastic Con in Fitchburg. So we're going to talk about this week in indie comics like we always do. But before we do that, I just want to check in real quick with our Facebook group. I didn't get a chance to really look at today, but here's something that I was asked. This kind of surprised me. I had a user, a good person. They found the idea of us continuing cosplay to be off-putting. They think that because we're called indie advocates now, we shouldn't do it. They have nothing against cosplay. I can honestly say this is not anything to do that. It was more of a feeling that this should become more of a purist thing and we should only cover comic books. And I argued that I felt cosplay is part of indie comics. What do you guys think? Should indie advocates continue to show cosplay once a day like we've been doing? For those who don't remember, when it first started, we had two different cosplays. We had the people we knew, which we would tell people how to go to their fan pages. And then more commonly, we would have people who never got back to us, and we would call it the CosView search. Now, some people actually, and it was a very small, minute group, mind you. We got thousands of views, thousands of likes. But there were a few who made complaints about it looking creepy or not understanding why we would try to give someone credit. Same people who probably say I shouldn't spend any time advocating, and what we do by advocating indie creators is a waste of my time, that type of person. But we stopped doing that because just a little bit of complaints would cause people to argue, and it would not just be an argument with us, but other people were getting involved in the argument. And it just became ugly, and we wanted nothing to do with ugly. So we got rid of it. And now we just do cosplay every day. If we know the cosplayer, we attach their page. Otherwise, we move on, and we do not attach their page. Found out today that I usually load cosplay, and you guys can see there's no real cosplay. We haven't had any cosplay running all week, so I'm planning to put it back in unless you guys vote differently. So let me know. If you vote differently, we won't add it, but if you do agree with me and think cosplay should continue, we will have it back starting Monday. So I'm going to give this the weekend for you guys to decide, a couple days without it, to see if you guys miss it. Angelica Reigns, #1 is here, but #2 is coming. Just keep an eye out for that. Amazing book, simply amazing. This is Alter Life, what I call the Black Mirror comic book. It is that good. If you're a fan of Black Mirror, go to Kickstarter right now and get Black Mirror. The Black Mirror comic known as Alter Life. And this is something from the other day. It wasn't very busy in our group. That's fine, but amazing art by Julius Gray. It's Tupac. It's finished. He wants you. Well, he'll sell you his prints. He doesn't want you to, but if you want to buy his prints and support an artist, you definitely should do that. And here's some cool stuff for the before and the after. Okay, let's do this week in indie comics for the end of our show. We used to do this, and we will continue. Sorry. I got a tickle in my throat I can't get rid of. We used to do this in WSN News, and it will continue now in Indie News. This is This Week in Indie Comics, where we tell you all the happenings that are going on this week, as it says in Indie Comics. Comic-Con Midwest Highway exit for Caleb, who we just talked about, has the Black Mirror comic, and you can see the Black Mirror comic that I'm calling it Black Mirror. He's not. Named Alterlife. It's just that good. I think it should be part of Black Mirror. You got Dirk Manning, who writes things that could be part of Black Mirror. I was going to call it Dark Mirror. Black Mirror for certain with his Nightmare World. Go check him out at Fantastic-Con. Also at Fantastic-Con is James Bailey, who will be there as well. And there is also going to be someone else, but he doesn't have a billboard. That's the advantage of just having a billboard. Billboards, of course, are the art where it showcases you in it. It's not just it's you taking the time to promote yourself. A billboard is you not just saying, I'm going somewhere. It's putting the effort in. And I can help you with that effort. If you reach out to me and go, Rob, can you make one of those cool billboards? I'll try my best to sneak it in as soon as I can for you. Doesn't take a lot. I'll probably put you in a generic one for either the older Written Sins ones or one of the new Indie Advocate ones. I don't mind. Really doesn't take me much time. I have a couple ready to go. So I am a fan of you guys. You know that. You indies and you indie creators and even you fans. So anything I can do to help, I try to really do. But I mean, it comes down to this. I'm excited to be at every show, so I make something for every show. And a lot of creators do, to their credit. I made a lot for Dirk Manning for our site just to fit our particular grouping, and I got all of his stops or exits for the year out in one shot. But I know he does his own, and I might even add them in as we go and put them in. But having an actual billboard gives me something tangible to show, and it shows different. So, I mean, step up your game this year. Be more professional. Make yourself a billboard. Show people it's important to come see you. If you just put something in, like, even in the funny Facebook where you have the bigger font things that they let you write nowadays, and I'll show you what I mean, that background thing, and I'm sure we'll have one right on my page real quick. Oh, just a fun thing for you guys to check out. This is now in my office, and I was showing you some of the indie comics stuff. It's all over. Okay, so this right here. These background things, they're cool, but nothing is cooler than one of these that you'll see in our indie comics, the Indie Advocate show known as the Comic-Con Highway Exits, which I'll be filming in just a few minutes if I ever get off the news, which I'm not rushing, so I don't really care. I'm Ukrainian. Haha, Russian. Silly joke. But that's what billboards are. So this is things to think of in the future. Back and before they gone, blast off. This is Kickstarter last rights. This is the remaining Kickstarters. The video reflects, I think, 3 that have already left the platform. The actual list that we go off of, and I'll show you guys real quick. So these are site enhancements that have been made recently, and I want you guys to understand how they work. So you want to know what's on the, and we will add as things get closer. Even if we haven't filmed a new show, we do add and remove. So you want to know what's going on with these, you want to see where they are, then you just go over to the list, click here for the list. So we're going to click there, and here it is. This is the list of the Kickstarters that are about to go off, and you guys can see my project, and we're going to talk about all these projects in just a second. So, but that's exactly what happens. So I do encourage you to do that. The Libertarian comic book is in need of We the People. Whether you're from the left, right, or center politically, our intention for this book is to make you think. It is okay to disagree. I think just that is an amazing title. We're going to talk more about it when we film Kickstarter Talk, which is on my schedule for tomorrow, so look forward to that. Autism Awareness is about education and acceptance. Educating the public about acceptance of special needs children and their value. Most autistic children and adults don't communicate or socialize the way typical individuals do. Autism Awareness R4AU attempts to break the barrier and help kids connect. They need a voice, and we give them one. They're our future. buy an R4AU patch and help them get the supplies they need, whether it be gas or tolls, or even hotel rooms and actual tables at times to help them get from con to con. Supporting Kickstarter, remember, only takes one single dollar. $1 can show support, attract attention, help fund projects, support indie creators, and create new worlds. And remember, when you back a Kickstarter, even by $1, it sends out a signal to everyone about the Kickstarter. Today, I backed my own project for $1, just so people who are on my list and following me saw that I backed the project and got attention to it. You know, $1 can change something. I mean, the minute I did that, I got a pledge. So that tells you how important $1 can be. Kickstarter for the Independent Creator, 2nd edition, a practical and informative guide to crowdfunding, written by the amazing Madeline Holling-Rising. Very excited, looking forward to what comes next. Boston Metaphysical Society is her baby. Multi-Larceny is a science fiction crime comic of infinitive potential possibilities. Multi-Larceny one-shot comic is a comic crime story with a science fiction twist. Heroes, victims, villains connected in a race against time and space. A nightmare on Egg Street. Something sinister is haunting the dreams of local teens in a nightmare on Egg Street. All right, that still scares me. Freddy just gets me. But I love what Swampline does, so because Swampline Comics does such a great job, I backed it. Kaiju Gods, amazing creative force behind this. Very excited about this project. I'm hoping to get them on Creator Talk this weekend as well. Kaiju Gods is the anthology of 14 stories, 180 pages, over 40 creators of all original kaiju content. Kaiju refers to giant monsters, by the way. Mentor Search. It's our 3rd date with the readers. Time to get freaky. Barbara isn't looking to be saved. She's looking to be taught. Will Bruce say yes to being her mentor? Can Barbara regain her fetishes? Tune in to Kickstarter and back it today to find out. Alter Life is the journey to the end, hardcover graphic novel. In a world of seemingly infinitive realities, Jake is on a quest to find his dead wife, daughter, but nothing is what it seems. It's what I'm touting as the Black Mirror comic. I do think it's that good. I love Black Mirror, and I love this comic, and I can't wait to see how it ends. Tales from the Black Circle is now live. I do not, on Indiegogo, I do not know how to explain this. We're going to try to figure that out tomorrow in Kickstarter Talk together. And at the end of the program, we always like to take the time to thank the veterans. And one of the ways that you can thank veterans is by lending them support and trying to find out what you can do locally for them. A great place to do that is the Veteran's Wife on Facebook today. And we'd like to take this time to thank all veterans. We truly appreciate your service. We would like to give an extra special thank you to the veterans that don't want to be recognized, the silent stoic veterans, for the horrors that they have seen in war is to them nothing to be thanked for. They don't put it out for the world to know, for they are truly struggling, for they now are battling their own war at home. You're not alone. You are loved and appreciated. You will always be our hero, even if you refuse the title. Thank you for tuning in to WSN News. Oh, I got so close to getting out of it. Screwed it up at the end. Got all the way to the end of the program before I screwed it up. Thank you for tuning into Indie News. There we go. Transition week. You guys can see a lot of things have changed. We've made improvements. We'll get there. By next week, hopefully, no screw-ups. I only made one screw-up in this video. That's a huge improvement from the other day. Programming note before we go off air, I am going to be doing a news program tomorrow to make up for us missing our actual program on Wednesday. So I am making a makeup show. You guys have been great. Thank you for tuning in to Indie News. And if you want us to advocate for you, send us an email at indieadvocates@gmail.com. My name is Mr. Anderson, and I am the advocating voice for Indie Advocates.